Question number 31. This is a question in which we have a question and we have an answer option available. So we have to match correct option with the correct question. So a cloud service that remains available after the failure occurs. In previous question, we have read about the fault tolerance. So yes, this will match with the fault tolerance. A cloud service that can be recovered after a fault failure occurrence. This is the disaster recovery. We will discuss about that what is the disaster recovery, and I will also explain after this once I will match all the four uh, questions answer. A cloud service that perform quickly when demand increases. That is a dynamic scalability. Scalability, we already understood what is the scalability. Scalability means as per the user requirement, we can up the machine, means increase the CPU performance, and as per the demand is low, we can decrease the CPU performance. That is the scalability. It's also called dynamic scalability as well. Low latency is something a cloud service that can be accessed quickly from the internet. So fault tolerance is something we already discussed, but let me explain once again. System keep working even if the component fail. Okay, means we have a two VM in different availability zone. So as we have already discussed in the previous question. So in this situation, fault tolerance for disaster recovery is something related to the backup plan to recover services after the failure. For example, Azure Service uh, Site Recovery or region-based backup. That is also called a disaster. Disaster recovery is something means something happened with the area where the data center is there, right? So at that time, how we will recover all the data? That is the related to the disaster. Something disaster happened with the data center at that region, zone, right? So this is the disaster recovery. Dynamic uh, disaster recovery. Sorry. Now come to the point of the dynamic scalability. Scalability, I think we had discussed 3 to 4 times what is scalability. Scalability is automatically scale up, right? If system required more, system getting hit more and more, then it will scale up the CPU performance. And if there is no request are coming or low request are coming, so it will be automatically mm, scale down. So that is called dynamic scalability. Low latency means fast response and quick access. So minimum delay in the data delivery. This is the low latency. So our match is a cloud service that remains available after the failure occur is the fault tolerance. A cloud service that can recover after the occurs, that is the disaster recovery. A cloud service that performs quickly when the demand increases, dynamic scalability. A cloud service that can access quickly from the internet, that is low latency. Question number 32. This is the yes no type of the question in which each statement we have to select the statement is correct or incorrect. Means the statement is yes or no. So first statement is to implement a hybrid cloud model, a company must uh, first have a private cloud. No, there is no not necessary, right? Because you don't have to start with the private cloud. You can start in public cloud and integrate the private cloud component later. So, our first statement is false. Statement 2. A company can extend the computing resource of its internal network by using the hybrid cloud. Yes, this is true. Hybrid cloud allow you to combine on-premises infrastructure with the public cloud efficiently and extending the resource. So yes, statement 2 is correct. Statement 3. In the public cloud model, only guest user at your company can access the resources in the cloud. This is false. Anyone with the proper credential, not just guest user, can access public cloud resource. Public cloud is not restricted to the guest user. So option statement 3 is false. Question 33. This is also a statement based question in which we have to select true or false. So statement 1 says Azure resource can only access other resource in the same resource group. Incorrect. Because Azure resource can communicate across different resources group, provide they properly configuration with the permission and networking. So statement 1 is false. Statement 2, if you delete resource group, all the resources in the resource group will be deleted. Correct. Because deleting the resource group automatically delete all the resource which it contains or which contain inside that resource. Statement 3, a resource group can contain resource from the multiple Azure region. Correct. A resource group just a logical container. A resource inside it can be located anywhere of the Azure region. So statement 3 is correct. So first is false and second and third is true. Question number 34. You Your company has on-premises network that contain multiple servers. The company plan to reduce following administrative responsibility of network administrator, backing up application data, replacing failed server hardware, managing physical server security, updating server operating system, managing permission to share document. The company plan to migrate server to Azure Virtual Machine. You need to identify which administrative responsibility will be eliminated after the plan migration. Which two responsibilities should you identify? Option A, replacing failed server hardware. Option B, backing up application data. Option C, managing physical server security. Option D, updating server operating system. Option E, managing permission to share documents. So the correct answer is replacing failed server hardware. Eliminated. Azure manage all the physical infrastructure. You don't have to worry about the physical server alone. And option C, managing physical server security. Eliminated means physical data center security like logs, camera guard is handled by the Microsoft in Azure. Responsibility that still remains is the backing up the application data is still required unless you set up the backup service explicitly in Azure. Updating server operating system is still your responsibility with IES or VM. You must handle the patching unless you use the automation. Option E, managing permission to share document. Yes, this is related to the application level of file sharing permission, which remains your responsibility. So the option A and C is correct. Replacing failure, replacing failed server hardware and managing physical server security. Question number 35. Question number 35 is statement based question in which we have to select yes or no. Means the statement is true or false. So statement one is saying Azure pay as you go pricing is an example of capex. False. Because pay as you go means you pay for the resources only when you use them. And the operational expenditure is the recurring and scalable and flexible. So it's a not the example of capex. In capex is the something in which we have a upfront cost like buying hardware, buying the place, So it's a not example of the capex, it's example of the opex. Statement 2. Azure reserved VM instance are an example of opex. No. Reserved VM means reserved instance involving paying upfront, like 1 year or 2 year plan. So this upfront payment is an example of the capex, means capital expenditure. It reduces, yes, long time cost, but lack of flexibility as well. So it's a not example of capex, but it's example of capex, any capital expenditure. Statement 3. This deploying your own data center is an example of the capex. True. Uh, as I already explained in the statement one, whenever if you are going to purchase something for your complete system, so like upfront cost, like hardware, networking, equipments, power, cooling, big upfront investment is goes on. So that is the part of the capex. So these are the one-time purchase that is a count as the capex. So statement 3 is true. Question number 36. You plan to provision infrastructure as a service, IaaS, resource in Azure. Which resource is example of the IaaS? Very simple question in which it's asking only which one is the example of IaaS. So, and Azure Web App. Azure Web App is the example of the past. You only deploy your code. Azure handle OS scaling, patching. You don't manage the infrastructure. So option A is incorrect. Virtual machine. Yes, virtual machine is a part of the infrastructure as a service. You can get full control of the OS, storage, networking. It's just like retaining an server. Option C, Azure Logic App. Azure Logic App is the part of the PaaS. It's a workflow automation service, no infrastructure control you have. So it's a part of PaaS, not IaaS. And Azure SQL Database. Azure SQL Database is also part of the PaaS, any platform as a service. So manage database service, no control over the underlying VM and OS. So option is D. Question number 37. A platform as a service, that is PaaS solution that hosts a web app in Azure providers full control of the operating system that host application. No. Why? In past, you don't have a OS level control. You cannot log into the OS or install custom software on it. This is something you can do with the IS, like virtual machine. If you have, then you can do it. But in past, you can't do it. Past handle the OS update and patching for you. Statement 2. A PaaS solution that hosts web app in the Azure can provide with additional memory with changing the price tier. Yes, true. 100% true. Because in PaaS, you can upgrade higher pricing tier, means from B1 to S1, hmm, for more memory if you want more CPU, if you want more storage. So you don't need to change the app, just you can use the app service plan. Statement 3. A PaaS solution that hosts web app in the Azure can configure to automatically scale the number of instances based on the demand. Yes, it's also true. It's also called auto scalability. I am explaining how it is possible. This is a major benefit of the PaaS. So Azure App Service support auto scaling. You can configure it to add or remove instance based on the CPU usage, memory, or request count. So it helps you to maintain your performance during the traffic spike. 3 is true. So yes, statement 3 is true. Question number 38. Your company plan to deploy several custom application to Azure. The application will provide the invoicing service to the customers of the company. Each application will have several prerequisites, application and services installed. You need to recommend a cloud deployment solution for all the application. And what should you recommend? A PaaS service or software as service or infrastructure as service, IaaS, PaaS or SaaS. So let's summarize the question. You have to deploy some custom application to Azure, right? And these application will provide invoicing service to customers. Each app have multiple prerequisites, means customer service and their dependency as well. And now you need to deploy a cloud solution that gives you the full control and flexibility. So for that, you have a SAS. You just use the SAS app like Outlook or Gmail. You cannot install anything or customize application. So this is not suitable for us. Option B, PaaS, platform as service. You deploy your code here, but you cannot full control on the OS or install the software. This is good, but this is not applicable if you want to install any OS or solution. Now, option C, infrastructure as service, IaaS. You can get a virtual machine. You have full control on that. You can install any software. And in PaaS, you cannot install any software, but in infrastructure as service, if you have a VM, because IaaS provide the VM, so you have a rights, so you can get virtual machine and you have a full control, so you can install any software which is required, configure operating system and services. So option C is the correct answer as per the recommendation. Question number 39. You plan to deploy 20 virtual machines in Azure environment to ensure that the virtual machine named VM cannot connect to other virtual machine or VM. So VM must have an option be deployed to a separate virtual network, run different operating system than other than virtual machine, be deployed to separate resource group, and fourth one is the have to network interface. So a question summary is you have a 20 virtual machine in Azure and your goal is that the V1 VM1 cannot connect to other VMs. So what should we do? Let's understand. You want to isolate VM1, right, from other all the 19 virtual machines that cannot communicate with this one. So this is network isolation. We can do something like that. So for that, VM in different virtual network cannot communicate with each other by default. This is the correct way. This is the best way to completely isolate VM1 to rest of the systems. We we can apply VNet 1 too, and it can isolate it using the LAN in Azure. Option 2 is run a different operating system other than the virtual machine. OS has no impact of the network connectivity, so it will not fulfill our requirement. Two VM can still connect if they have a different OS. Option 3, be deployed to a separate resource group. I think if you go through from question number 1 to 39, so then you know very well. Then the resource group are managed boundary, not network boundary, as I explained earlier as well. So VM is separate resource group can still in the same VNet and communicate. So option 3 is also not applicable here. Option 4, have two network interfaces. Having two network interfaces, NIC, give more connectivity option, not less. So it doesn't stop to VM from connecting to manually configured NSG and routing rule. So option one is the correct. We deploy to separate virtual network. Question number 40. You plan to deploy several Azure virtual machine. You need to ensure that the service running on the virtual machine are available if a single data center fails. Solution: you deploy the virtual machine to scale set. Does it meet the goal? Yes or no? So first of all, we have to know that what is the scale set. So scale set, we also say virtual machine scale set. That is a VMSS. What it means. So scale set let you deploy and manage the group of identical VMs. It supports auto scaling, load balancing. By default, all the VM in a scale set are deployed in a single region or often within a same availability zone. So, if you want to resilience against the single data center failure, single data center failure means the failure of a region or availability zone. Just using scale set doesn't guarantee your VM are different zone unless you explicitly configure the availability zone or zone redundant scale zone. So answer is no.